All right, guys, so I know I said that I would not talk about the whole Kyle Rittenhouse trial until it was over, just because I don't claim to be an expert in this type of stuff, and I would best leave the analysis of what's going on up to the experts. I have no shame in admitting that, but I've said from the get-go, I think that this is a classic case of self-defense. If this is not self-defense, I don't know what is self-defense. And as days go by, right, it appears more and more and more that this is in fact self-defense, right? And there was a kind of a smoking gun moment during the trial earlier this week that kind of confirms that, right? As one of the witnesses, Mr. Gage Grosskitz, basically described what sounds like to me to be a classic case of self-defense before Kyle Rittenhouse had ended up shooting him in the arm. Take a look.
When you were standing 3 to 5 feet from him with your arms up in the air, he never fired, right?
Correct.
It wasn't until you pointed your gun at him, advanced on him with your gun, now your hands down, pointed at him, that he fired, right?
Correct.
Now you had said that you were looking for a non-lethal way to end this interaction.
That is correct, yes.
Yet you pulled your gun out and began, I'm going to use the word chase. You began chasing or running after a man who was running away from you, correct?
That is correct.
All right, guys. So I think everybody who, honestly watched what happened with the whole Kyle Rittenhouse situation, actually seen the video, knows in their hearts that is actually self-defense. They know that. However, the media, they're not honest actors. They have a narrative to push over facts. Now, there's somebody specific in the media, the far left media, Miss Ana Kasparian, who gladly participated in smearing Kyle Rittenhouse as a white supremacist that went to Kenosha purely to try to shoot and kill people, right? That she participated in that type of narrative being pushed by the mainstream liberal media, okay? However, she has kind of shocked some people in white ring circles and have come out and said, hey, you know what? I was actually wrong, because it appears that Kyle may actually have been acting in self-defense, right? According to her. And she's saying that she was wrong because apparently, right, somebody that's supposed to be a so-called journalist did not see the video that literally everybody in the world saw, that includes Mr. Jacob Rosenbaum, right? The person in question here that she's actually going to be talking about, that the footage that she said changed her mind, chasing Kyle Rittenhouse, right? Before a gunshot goes off, and then Kyle Rittenhouse turns around instinctively, it seems, and shoots Mr. Rosenbaum as Mr. Rosenbaum is lunging at Kyle Rittenhouse, right? So she says that, hey, you know what? I didn't see this video. I didn't know about these details. I thought that Kyle was the one that was chasing Mr. Rosenbaum. I thought that Kyle was the one out here chasing rioters and protesters, right? So she's going to admit that she was wrong. However, I'm not really buying this, and I'll tell you guys why. But first, I want you guys to actually watch the clip. Take a look.
However, as we had also shared with you earlier, the prosecutors are not allowed to use the word victim when referring to the individuals who were shot, including the 2 who were shot and killed by Rittenhouse. Remember, there were 3 who were shot, 2 of whom died as a result of him opening fire. Now, here's what allegedly happened that night, according to the defense attorney. After Rittenhouse shot Joseph Rosenbaum and fled down Sheridan Road away from the scene, he was chased by dozens of people, including, here are the 2 other victims, right? Anthony Huber and Greg Grosskreutz, okay? As citizens who were trying to stop an active shooter. The defense characterized them as aggressors. Now, Huber, according to the defense here, Huber bludgeoned Rittenhouse with a skateboard, Richard said, and a man who was captured on video but never identified jump kicked Mr. Rittenhouse in the face. So look, these details do matter because this stuff is caught on camera. You do see it in the video, someone taking a skateboard and hitting Rittenhouse over the head with it as he's on his back. And I haven't seen this video yet, but it was already, the New York Times says it's on tape. There's someone captured on video, someone who has not been identified, kicking Rittenhouse in the face. So look, these details matter because if you're gonna make an argument that you acted in self-defense, there needs to be some proof that there was an imminent threat. Right, and in this case, the imminent threat is the guy using the skateboard and someone kicking Rittenhouse in the face as he's on his back. Now, what really mattered to me was how all of this unfolded. What was the thing that sparked it? What started all of it? And initially, I was under the assumption that Rittenhouse was the person who was chasing after Joseph Rosenbaum, that's how it had started. But I was wrong about that. Okay, so I want to correct the record. I was in fact wrong about that. And to show you the evidence, to reinforce that I was wrong about that, I want to go to this video that shows how everything really started.
All right, guys, so she goes on to show the video to show how it really started. The same video that we all have seen. You know, the guy that's basically saying, shoot me, N-word, shoot me N-word. We've all seen that, right? We all seen him getting all riled up, and then the video of him chasing Kyle Rittenhouse through a parking lot, right? Or what looked like a parking lot, right? We've all seen that. But for whatever reason, Ana, who again is a so-called journalist, did not see that. Now, initially, when I first was reading about this and I was thinking about this, I was like, okay, good for her. She's admitting her mistakes. I have no issues with people admitting their mistakes, right? People should take ownership of their mistakes. But the more I started to actually think about it, the more I was like, I'm not buying into this. I'm just not. I don't think this is as much as her admitting her mistake as much as it is her trying to save face for what she knew was a lie the whole time. Because there's no doubt in my mind that she saw that video, guys. Right? She saw that video for sure. And if she didn't see the video, then she should quit. Right? She should quit TYT. If she did not see that video. Because in my opinion, guys, again, you don't have to be an expert in this stuff. You just got to have some common sense. Everybody knows that the man was acting in self-defense. I mean, dude was getting beat with a skateboard, kicked in the head. Obviously, he was running away, right? That is evidence in all the footage. Like, come on, right? If this is not self-defense, I don't know what is. But the mainstream liberal media went out of their way to try to make it seem like, hey, you know what, this is not really self-defense, despite all the evidence that it is, by saying that, he went there with the intent to kill people. That's what they're saying. That's the argument that they're making. So in order to push that narrative, they can't actually give you all the details and facts, even though all the evidence is actually there, right? The videotape and all that. They're not going to do that because they're more concerned about the narrative. And in my opinion, Ana Kasparian was caught up in the narrative. She purposely pushed the narrative, knowing that the evidence did not suggest that narrative was true, just like the rest of the mainstream media. However, she's admitting up to it because she knows that more than likely, at least as of right now, as of the making of this video, it looks like Kyle is probably going to get off, right? And I think she probably kind of knew that before the trial even started. And when she actually started to listen to the opening argument, started to listen to what was going on, she was like, oh, okay. This right here, I might need to go ahead and walk back some statements that I said in the past just so I can save face when, Kyle is found not guilty of these murder charges. I think that's actually what's really going on here. This is her trying to save face because she know that she pushed lies on purpose, right? Just like, again, the rest of the mainstream media did. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not really buying into this, I got it wrong. I didn't see the video. Like, you mean to tell me you guys did not see the video? You did not see the video that everybody else had saw. Again, if you haven't seen the video, that's bad, right? That's almost just as bad as lying, right? That's almost just as bad as lying. Because how can you call yourself a journalist and go out here and give an opinion on such a polarizing and important case, right? Especially consider everything that happened last year. How can you come out here and give such a strong opinion on this stuff, but you have not actually seen the video? Her admitting that she hasn't seen the video, in my opinion, like, you should quit, right? Quit calling yourself a journalist. Go ahead and just say, you know, I'm an opinion host, right? Just say I'm an opinion host. It's the same thing I say about Don Lemon and the rest of MSNBC, Joy Reid. They try to pretend like they're above everybody else because they have the title of journalist. Well, they went to school for journalism. However, every time you look, they're never actually really engaged in journalism. They're simply giving their opinions. That's what they're doing. They're no different than somebody like Joe Rogan, who people like Ana Kasparian, Sink Yogurt, TYT, along with CNN and the rest of the mainstream liberal media, they smear because he's not a journalist. He's just an opinion host. They say, well, he's just opinion, right? He doesn't give you facts. But they turn around and do the exact same thing, right? They do the exact same thing. They ignored the facts and evidence in this Kyle Rittenhouse case, and they push the narrative because they just want to say that this dude is a white supremacist that went to Kenosha to try to kill people with the intent of doing that. Even though, again, they don't have evidence to back up those claims, but they just want that to be the narrative. And because that narrative is falling apart, the liberal media is pissed, right? They're upset. And I really don't know why, because they knew that this is how it was going to go. They knew. But see, now, again, instead of admitting they were wrong, what they do is that they double down and they say, well, you know what? He shouldn't have been in the first place. And Jeffery Toobin goes as far as to actually call Kyle Rittenhouse an idiot, even though Jeffery Toobin is the king of doing idiotic things.
Jeffrey,
Two thoughts.
Yeah.
Two thoughts. One, what kind of idiot 17-year-old gets a giant gun and goes to a riot? He has no license. He has no training. He thinks he's going to scrub graffiti off with his AR-15. I mean, the stupidity of this is like, what could possibly go wrong? Well, a lot went wrong. The good news for Kyle Rittenhouse is that he's not on trial for being an idiot. He's on trial for homicide. Right. And in that respect, I mostly agree with Joey that this is a tough case for the prosecution because it does seem like he has a plausible case of self-defense. And, you know, if it were illegal to be an idiot, the jails would be even freer, even more crowded than they are now. Homicide's a different matter, and, you know, he may have a defense.
Yeah, I gotta agree a little bit with Jeffery Toobin here in the sense that if being an idiot was a crime, yeah, you would be the main person in jail. You would be doing a whole lot of time for that, Jeff. But as you guys can see, this is a part of the liberal media meltdown over this thing, right? But in regards to Ana Kasparian, that now that this trial first initially started and she knows that, okay, this dude's probably going to get off, she's trying to save face and say, well, I didn't see the video. I didn't see the video. And again, I'm just not buying it. She definitely saw the video. And for her to say that she didn't see the video, in my opinion, is almost just as bad as her trying to push a false narrative that she knows is false, right? Because that means that at the very least, well, if you saw the video and you're trying to push a false narrative that you know is false, then, hey, you know what? You're actually an opinion host pretending to be a journalist, right? However, if you didn't see the video at all, that just means that you're not doing proper research, which means that you're probably not qualified to be an opinion host or a journalist, right? I'm just saying. So like I said, man, I'm not really buying into this. I don't think she gets a pass for this. I think this is her trying to save face. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.